Now at 10 and streaming on CrossroadsToday.com, water issues impact millions of Americans. We're taking a closer look at the Colorado River and recent droughts in Matagorda County.
A fourth arrest made following the Sweet 16 mass shooting in Dadeville, Alabama.
Man from Humble arrested in Hallettsville for narcotics.
We are all under a severe thunderstorm watch, folks. We've had some really rough weather up in central Texas this afternoon and evening. A lot of it's coming in our direction. We may have some thunder bumpers overnight. We'll talk about that in a moment.
And our Pepsi Athlete of the Week comes from Goliad. I'll have that later on in sports.
You're watching 25 News Now at 10. Good evening and thank you for joining us for 25 News Now at 10. I'm Don Brubaker.
And I'm Karina Garcia.
We have thunderstorm watches all over the Crossroads, so let's take a first look at your forecast right now with First Warn Storm Team Chief Meteorologist Mac Pettis. Mac, where are those thunderstorm watches right now in the Crossroads?
Pretty much everybody in the Crossroads is under this watch, Don. In fact, here is Victoria County. You can see Hallettsville up here. All the way out to Kennedy, down to the coast. What's been happening is that frontal system that I promised you has begun to move. And so we had a huge line of storms that affected the hill country in the last 6 hours. In fact, in Fredericksburg, they had ping pong sized hail. In Austin, they had about 4 inches of rain. Just within the last hour, not far from Austin in Bastrop, they had a tornado warning. And all of that is now moving to the east, and you can see right about there. It'll be rolling into Houston. Well, the tail end of it is going to be coming through the Crossroads. Many of you will hear thunder and lightning in the next couple of hours. This is going to be over by tomorrow morning, and then we'll take a look at your weekend. All that and more coming up in just a few minutes. Back to you, Don.
Mac, thank you. This video just in from Tyler. Severe thunderstorm watch in effect until 9 a.m. Friday for much of East Texas. The National Weather Service says isolated strong to severe thunderstorms will make their way through East Texas through early tomorrow morning. The Storm Prediction Center has placed all of East Texas under a slight risk for significant severe weather through tonight and into early tomorrow morning. The Texas-Colorado River is a vital source of water for Texas communities, recreation, economic development, and in Matagorda County, it's a main source of water for farmers and their crops.
25 News Now weekend anchor Adam Seibel now with the power of water, a 25 News Now extra.
Water is central to human survival. With it, we thrive. Without it, we die. The arteries of the land which quenches our thirst, waters our crops, and supports our economy. Here in Texas, one of the main arteries, if you will, is the Texas-Colorado River. Over 800 miles long, it's the longest river to start and end in Texas. Aside from supporting human life, it supports many major industries here in Texas. Recreation and tourism, the seafood industry, and a major economic driver here in South Texas, agriculture. Daryl Franzine is a third-generation rice farmer in Collegeport, a small community in Matagorda County, which is where the Colorado River Basin is located.
Rice has been a major crop here. It's mainly rice and cattle country.
When water levels in the primary storage reservoirs in the lower Colorado River Basin, Lakes Buchanan and Travis, drop in response to insufficient rainfall, the drought management plan is implemented. This plan sets a threshold for curtailment of irrigation water for agriculture. And this year, the lake's level didn't meet that threshold. Bad news for farmers like Daryl.
It needed to rain. It didn't fill the lakes up to the threshold. So on March the 1st, they made the announcement that we'd be curtailed for this crop year.
Starting in 2012, Daryl had to endure 4 years back-to-back with no rice farming, simply because the river didn't have a sufficient water amount for the crops. And again this year, a troubling trend. The eldest Franzine brother, GW, has farmed alongside his brother Daryl since their father taught them how to farm rice at a young age, and he knows that Mother Nature is on her own schedule.
You're always working with Mother Nature, so you never know what the weather's going to do anyway. But when you get a trend where you're not having the inflows into the lakes, there's always the possibility that there won't be water.
Matagorda County Extension Agent Greg Baker works closely with the ag producers in Matagorda County, whose ag industry annual value is $330 million. So even going just 1 year without being able to farm a crop like rice can be a huge economic hit.
The direct impact to the farmers is $33 million. you know, and there's just a handful of rice farmers left. So that large amount affects a small amount of rice farmers.
And it's not just the rice farmers losing out. It's a butterfly effect that ripples through the industry and environment, also impacting the oyster and shrimp population in the bays.
Then you get the trickle-down effect. You have to figure out anything from the rice dryers to the tire shops to the dealerships, the mechanics working on the equipment.
At one time, Matagorda County had close to 20 planes that would apply pesticides and fertilizer to rice crops, and with water curtailment, that number has dwindled down to just 2 planes. There's a great need for the river water before it even gets to Collegeport, so being near the basin makes it difficult for the farmers in South Texas.
Lots of hands that have their hands out for water, you know, because water is the fabric of life, you know.
It's easy to take water for granted, but for farmers, they know it's costly. Water from the river isn't free. The LCRA charging it by acre foot, which is a foot of water to cover an acre of land, costing farmers like Daryl around $250 an acre. And like most things these days, the cost only going up.
When we get water again, I'm sure the rate is going to be increased as well. So it can get to the point that it may be not be feasible to even irrigate because it costs too much.
Rice farming has been Daryl's livelihood, so he's passed on that generational knowledge to his children and grandchildren who want to continue the family tradition.
They would all like to farm, but with the economics right now, they need outside income to raise their families, so it's just not enough to go around right now.
Even though rice farming and irrigation technology has and is advancing, that still doesn't change the fact that America's farmers are hurting, and rice farmers like the Franzine brothers will have to endure another year with no crops.
We like farming rice, but unfortunately, we're not going to this year.
So you now have a glimpse of the power of water here in South Texas and how heavily these communities rely on the Colorado River right here behind me. So where do we go from here? Well, that answer lies in whatever Mother Nature has in store for us and humanity's ability to adjust and adapt to an ever-changing environment and the constant ebbs and flows of water. Reporting in Matagorda County, I'm Adam Seibel, KAVU-TV 25 News Now, in conjunction with ABC News, the power of water.
And now here is your viewer poll tonight. Scan that QR code on your screen to participate right now. The question is, are you concerned with water availability, yes or no? We take a look at these results and 63% say yes and 37% say no. We want to hear your opinion tomorrow in our latest viewer poll. And now we go to Oklahoma, where many people are cleaning up after damaging storms and tornadoes moved through the state. On Wednesday evening, several supercells formed in central Oklahoma, creating large hail, damaging winds, and tornadoes in some communities. A large tornado that was wrapped in rain formed near the Cole and Dibble area, causing significant damage to homes and properties. Authorities say at least 3 people were killed due to these storms.
Officials at Austin Bergstrom International Airport and Austin Travis County EMS saying an American Airlines employee died at one of the airport's gates Thursday afternoon. They confirmed that medics were sent for a cardiac arrest call just after 2 p.m. The individual was pronounced dead at the scene from what they called traumatic injuries.
Vehicular homicide is investigating. Right now, this is being investigated as an accidental death. The airport operations were not impacted during this incident. We recognize the sensitive nature and we really appreciate the community's patience as we fully investigate this tragic incident.
The airport has not provided the patient's gender or age. It is also not clear at this time which airline they worked for. A 4th suspect was arrested in connection with the mass shooting in Alabama. 20-year-old Johnny LeRon Brown was arrested and formally charged with 4 counts of reckless murder. 4 people were killed and 32 others were hurt while attending a Sweet 16 party last weekend.
Now, earlier this week, special agents arrested 17-year-old Tyrese McCullough, 16-year-old Travis McCullough, and 20-year-old Wilson Lamar Hill, all charged with 4 counts of reckless murder. A man from Humble faces charges in Hallettsville late Wednesday night during a traffic stop on the 1000 block of East 4th Street. A Hallettsville police officer found a Springfield pistol and narcotics in the vehicle. 28-year-old man from Humble taken into custody for unlawful carry of a weapon and having illegal narcotics in a drug-free zone. A 34-year-old man charged with killing his parents and 2 others in Maine made his appearance in court today. Joseph Eaton fatally shot his mother and father on Tuesday, along with a 72-year-old man and a 62-year-old woman. Police responded to reports of shots fired on an interstate a short time later. One of the 3 victims shot is in critical condition, while the other 2 had non-life-threatening injuries. Eaton thought the car he was shooting at on the highway were officers following him.
Washington state has passed House Bill 1240, banning the sale, manufacture, and import of assault weapons. The change would allow gun manufacturers to sell stock already in inventory prior to January 1st, 2023, and only to out-of-state clientele for 90 days after the bill goes into effect. The bill does not ban the possession of assault weapons. Gun advocates vowed to challenge the bill, arguing the ban violates the Second Amendment.
Stay with us. Coming up on 25 News now at 10. At least 78 people killed in a stampede in Yemen's capital on Thursday.
Also ahead, a viral video shows a mid-air meltdown between a Southwest passenger and a crying baby.
News Center 25 at 6 and 10 is also heard on KVNN 1340 AM, Victoria's News Network.
CCA Texas and industry leaders have built the largest saltwater redfish, spotted sea trout, and southern flounder hatchery system in the world, releasing nearly 1 billion fingerlings into our Texas bays. Adult broodstock are spawned in tanks. Hundreds of thousands of fingerlings are raised in grow-out ponds and released into bays to ensure we have healthy populations for future generations. Join CCA today and help us make a difference.
Counterfeit prescription pills laced with fentanyl are killing our kids by the thousands across the nation. The pills look safe. Can you tell which one is real? Drug dealers are pushing these deadly pills on your kids' social media. It only takes one pill to kill. And it did. You can help stop the fentanyl epidemic. Talk to your kids about the dangers of counterfeit prescription pills. Visit onepillkilled.org.
Texas? Now's the time to gear up and save on a new Ford SUV. Get great deals on our most capable lineup. Now with a great in-stock selection to choose from, like the spacious and tech-savvy Ford Expedition or Ford Explorer and Bronco Sport. Ford SUVs, #1 in brand loyalty. Drive Escape now with 0% financing plus $1,000 cash, plus up to $500 accessories cash, plus complimentary maintenance.
Ford is the best in Texas.
At least 78 people were killed in a stampede in Yemen's capital Thursday as residents gathered at a school to receive cash donations during Ramadan. Hundreds of people gathered to receive cash amounting to about $9 per person. A health ministry said 77 people were also hurt, including 13 in critical condition. Video showed a crowd of people jammed together and reaching out to be pulled to safety. The 2 merchants responsible for organizing the donation event were detained. An investigation is now underway.
Police in North Carolina searching for 24-year-old Robert Singletary. He's facing several charges, including 4 counts of attempted murder. Tuesday, several children were playing basketball when the ball rolled into the suspect's yard. He fired at a man and his 6-year-old daughter. The child returned home after getting shot, but the father still in a local hospital with a punctured lung and liver problems. Police searching for Singletary, who is said to be armed and dangerous.
A U.S. Navy sailor missing for more than a month was found. The body of Seamus Gray was pulled from a harbor on Wednesday. Gray went missing just over a month ago and was last seen at a bar. Authorities say workers doing routine work at the harbor discovered the body. The Lake County coroner identified the remains and determined the cause of Gray's death was drowning. It is unclear how Gray ended up in the water. The Navy sailor was from Florida. Now, chaos in the skies. A viral video shows an unruly Southwest passenger's outburst over a crying baby.
The mid-air meltdown forced the plane to land before its destination.
So is the baby! Okay, so poor man. This morning, it's a mid-air meltdown of epic proportions aboard one Southwest flight, not just from the baby on board, but also from an adult passenger. Lower that baby's voice. This passenger seen losing his cool after a baby was crying for an extended period of time. Flight attendants pleading with him to stop yelling. No, that's not, no.
All of a sudden, this guy just started screaming on the top of his lungs. It was definitely a good 5 minutes or so. And it was just getting worse and worse and worse.
You want me to scream? You want me to scream? Please stop the baby. The Fort Lauderdale bound flight landing in Orlando and all the passengers forced to deplane. As for that adult passenger, he was met by security at the gate. Southwest releasing a statement saying, "We commend our crew for exhibiting outstanding professionalism while handling a challenging situation, and we appreciate the patience of our other customers on board who had to experience the behavior."
I think the number one thing to say here is that even though our crews handle these things as diplomatically as they can, at the end result, if you don't sit down and close your mouth and stop doing whatever it was you're doing, you're going to be hauled off by police at the other end.
Prosecutors plan to drop an involuntary manslaughter charge against Alec Baldwin in the fatal 2021 shooting of a cinematographer on the set of the movie Rust. Baldwin's attorney said today they're pleased with the decision. The actor and the film's weapons supervisor both charged with involuntary manslaughter in the shooting of Helena Hutchins. Baldwin was pointing a pistol at Hutchins during a rehearsal when the gun went off, killing Hutchins and wounding director Joel Souza.
Well, at this hour of the night, we're at 75 degrees. The winds have settled down. Not far away, there's some big big thunderstorms that are in and around our area that we may see overnight. We'll track them for you coming up in a moment. Stay tuned.
Need weather around the clock? When the weather changes in the Crossroads, you need a reliable source. Visit Interactive Radar online for the latest conditions in the Crossroads area. CrossroadsToday.com. Weather at your fingertips. 25 News Now would like to invite you to experience our new digital streaming service, Crossroads Today Plus. You can find it on your connected TV through Amazon Fire, Roku, Apple TV, Android TV. Go to the link on your screen for more information on how to download.
The Victoria Television Group is proud to honor our veterans, and we need your entries. Each month, we'll acknowledge a new veteran to salute. To submit, go to the Military Hero page on CrossroadsToday.com and help us recognize the deserving servicemen and women in our community.
Victory GMC is the favorite in the Crossroads because our staff has years of experience and they know how to make their customers smile.
Walter Dixon, 32 years.
Lena Briggs, 38 years.
Jose Garza, 24 years. Jake Hargis, 23 years.
Houston Polyver, 3 years.
Come let the right people give you a world-class buying experience. We think you'll call it victory.
My name is Adarius McCormick, and I want you to know about my new segment, Homemade with Adarius. I will interview amazing people and showcase intriguing places that may be new to you in the Crossroads. Want to show off something homemade? Email us at homemade@victoriatelevision.com. See my new segment on Crossroads Today YouTube channel and Crossroads Today Plus. You do not want to miss this.
Join happy Optimum customers who love their fast Optimum 300 meg internet for as low as $30 a month. Paul says it's reliable internet, great speed, reasonable pricing. Thanks, Paul. We think you're great too. Plus, Optimum has faster download speeds than AT&T nationwide. Get Optimum 300 meg internet for $30 a month with Optimum Mobile for as low as $15 a month. For your special offer, call 866-9-OPTIMUM. Go to Optimum.com or visit a store today. Get closer, go farther with Optimum.
Well, good evening, everyone. Got to show you a photograph here of Taylor, Texas, not far from Austin. It was a very busy afternoon up there. Now, this was very interesting. We had some huge downpours. They're reporting up to 4 inches of rain from Austin to San Antonio. And of course, the hail, size of ping pong all over the place. We're going to get a lot more video of this as tomorrow wears on, because people are just sort of reeling from all the excitement. Now, we continue under the flash flood, rather the severe thunderstorm watch for about 4 or 5 more hours, okay? Are we going to get it? Well, we're going to get something in and around our area. It may not hit your house, but just to the north of us, an angry looking line of severe weather rolling through the I-10 corridor over LaGrange, Giddings, and now getting very close to Columbus. This activity, as you can see right about here, I wanted to show you the very cold top right there. See that blue spot on? That's the very top of the storm. That's the temperature, and that tells us there's hail falling under that. So that's right headed toward Columbus. So if you have interests or family up there, consider it's just coming down to the I-10 corridor right about now. So give it another couple hours and it'll be all around our area, because the frontal system is beginning to move. That is moving all of this line. Now, folks, from Michigan to Texas, the line of storms has been incredibly impressive. Now, this cluster that you saw just approaching Houston will roll out to sea. And then, so tomorrow morning, this will end. And then the front will move through, and it will get a northeast wind, a little cooler, a little clear for Friday late and early Saturday. And then Sunday, it all comes back. I'm going to show you why. Because once the front clears, this area of low pressure develops, and it pulls all that moisture back into Texas, giving us the lift and the moisture necessary for the rain. And here, what do you see? Another squall line. And who's in the front of that? Well, that would be you. So we're going to watch for that. This would be on Sunday when we get a second round of stormy weather. So it's going to be a very busy week. Now, here's Future Tracker. I'm going as far out in the future as I can with this model. Notice, where are we? Sunday. This is Sunday. There's that line. And that's the one that's going to come through our area on Sunday night into Monday. So just consider that whatever clearing we get Friday afternoon, evening, and Saturday morning, enjoy it while you can, because on the other side there's going to be more stormy weather. Now, here's another model that will show you how much rainfall is expected for 5 days. So this is storm total, because it's not just one pass of the rain. We're looking for 1.5 inches, possibly 2 inches for us, 2 to 3 up to the north of Austin and all the way over to Houston. So south of Corpus Christi, it won't be as bad, but they'll get some shower activity as well. All of a sudden, you know, we're basking in the rain after being dry for so long. Mariners, it's going to be very complicated. First of all, we've got southeast winds tonight. Tomorrow, they'll turn to the west-northwest. Then they'll turn to the north because of the front passing through. And then by Saturday, it'll become an east wind again. So it's going to be squirrely on the wind department up there. You got to be very cautious if you're going to go attempt to get out there on the bay over the weekend. So here we go. Storms tonight, a little break tomorrow afternoon, warm up to 86. Then the front comes through in the afternoon and evening. The rain and the front are different times. Little bit nicer for Saturday. And then Saturday night, Sunday, more stormy weather. That will continue through Monday and Tuesday. So I've got 4 alert days right on through the weekend. I don't like doing this, but you know, you got to do it. All right, folks, that's your 7-day reminder. If you've got your phone handy, scan that QR code and put Crossroads Today on your phone, and we'll be able to get to you anytime. for the latest in weather and sports. And here's Zach.
Thank you, Mac. Our Pepsi Athlete of the Week comes from Goliad. She's headed to state. I'll have that coming up in sports.
Texas? Now's the time to gear up and save on a new Ford SUV. Get great deals on our most capable lineup. Now with a great in-stock selection to choose from, like the spacious and tech-savvy Ford Expedition or Ford Explorer and Bronco Sport. Ford SUVs, #1 in brand loyalty. Drive Escape now with 0% financing plus $1,000 cash, plus up to $500 accessories cash, plus complimentary maintenance.
Ford is the best in Texas.
Hi, I'm Charlie Garcia. And I'm Rico Garcia. And we are USA Concrete Coatings. If you're ready to upgrade your business, restaurant, garage, man cave, or porch, then you're ready for USA Concrete Coatings. We'll have your floors looking flawless with our exclusive USA Concrete Coatings products. We'll ensure that your concrete coating is strong and durable. It's antimicrobial and comes with a lifetime warranty. USA Concrete Coatings, from concrete to custom in just one day.
Shop naked and save at the Homestead. You can take it home and stain it tonight.
What in tarnation? The Homestead's gone rustic. Mosey on over and check out the store today.
Good evening, Crossroads. Your Pepsi Athlete of the Week comes from Goliad, and her season has been a hole-in-one. Goliad Golf will be represented in Austin. Senior Abby Yanta will be competing for a state championship where she was last year when they made it as a team. This year, they missed it by just 3 strokes, and she says it's bittersweet, but being able to return has her very prepared.
I think the experience last year is preparing me for this year to know what I can expect whenever I get there. Yeah, I wish my team could have made it, but I'm super happy to represent Goliad at the state tournament this year again.
When she made it to the state tournament, she did it in Kerrville, which is where Abby has signed to play golf at Schreiner University.
The environment there just felt like somewhere where I wanted to be. The coaches were extremely welcoming, and it's just where I see myself. She says Goliad has meant a lot to her, and the coaches are like family. Head coach Jason Solis is currently busy with the boys as they also shoot for success, but athletic director Kevin Salazar gave him high remarks.
For our golf program, Coach Solis has done a great job and just bringing these kids along, and we're looking forward to watching Abby compete at the state level. She does a great job of recruiting our kids to get out there and play golf, and really spends a lot of time working on their skills. As the only senior on the team, she knew she had to play a bit of the leadership role, especially having been on this stage before. She is excited for the opportunity to represent Goliad for the last time before heading to Schreiner University in August. Being able to represent her team at state solo is why Abby Yanta is your Pepsi Athlete of the Week. The Cuero Gobblers having a lot of success in both boys and girls track and field. The girls 4x100 relay team took first place in area. They are now going to regionals. Their 4x200 team were also area champs. They will be joining the 4x100 team in the regional round. And from the boys, their 4x1 relay team as well. That consists of Travis Sills, Dayson Varela, Mason Nataro, and Dayton Varela will qualify for the regional round. Congrats to the Gobblers on a great showing. All right, bunch of late games in the NBA tonight, and it got a little chippy in the Nets and Sixers. Joel Embiid feeling extra disrespected, gets finished over by Nick Claxton, who then stares him down and steps over him, only for Embiid to kick him. Embiid would not get ejected, although later in the game, Harden would for something much less serious. Claxton would pick up 2 technicals and ironically get himself ejected later in the game. In baseball, the Oakland Athletics appear to be on their way to Las Vegas, purchasing land near the Strip. They intend to build a $1.5 billion stadium with 35,000 seats. Don and Karina, back to you.
All right, thank you, Zach, and stay with us. Coming up on 25 News now at 10, we'll take a last look at your weather, plus actor Jonathan Majors facing more abuse allegations.
When it comes to people you trust, you likely think of family, friends, and maybe even your neighbors.
When it comes to legal matters, people here in Victoria trust our firm at Colcole, Easley & Skiba.
Since 1954, we've been earning the trust of your family, friends, and neighbors.
And that's not only because we win cases, but because of our uncompromising client-first approach.
So regardless of what scenario you find yourself in, you deserve a team of trustworthy lawyers. You deserve Colcole, Easley & Skiba.
Hello, my name is Maclovio Perez. My friends call me Mac. I'm the new Chief Meteorologist at 25 News Now. In the weather world, our job is to save lives and property. Service is very important, and the people need to know you, they need to like you, and they need to trust you. And if they don't do any one of those, then you're not going to be on TV for very long. There's my forecast for the summer. Very hot and a very active storm season. Write that down. Let me know how I did at the end of the season.
Palace Bingo, where friends meet friends. And with over $500,000 in prizes given away every month, Palace Bingo is the place to be. We've got more chances to win. We've got cash payouts nightly. Palace Bingo in Victoria. Cash payouts nightly. Fantastic food and fun for the whole family. Come out for the fun and stay for the cash. Palace Bingo on Houston Highway in Victoria.
Palace Bingo, where winners take home over $500,000 each month.
Be a winner at Palace Bingo on the Houston Highway.
Palace Bingo, where friends meet friends.
NATO's military alliances chief said Ukraine's future lies in NATO during his first visit to the country since Russia's invasion. He pledged continued military support for Ukraine and says NATO allies have trained tens of thousands of Ukrainian troops and provided over $71 billion of military aid alone. He also said Ukraine's NATO membership bid and robust security guarantees for the country will be high up on the next NATO summit's agenda.
Also recognize that President Zelensky will raise the issue of membership, of security guarantees, and this will be high on the agenda of the meeting and also in the lead up and the preparations for the Vilnius summit. Ukraine's future is in the Euro-Atlantic family. Ukraine's future is in NATO. All allies agree on that.
In 2008, a NATO summit in the Romanian capital agreed that Ukraine would eventually become a member of the alliance. However, leaders have since stopped short of taking any concrete steps, like giving Kyiv a membership action plan that would lay out a timetable for bringing the country closer to NATO. An attorney for actor Jonathan Majors is refuting a new report of allegations of abuse. The Marvel star is preparing for a May 8th court appearance on domestic violence charges, but Variety, the magazine, released a report that multiple people are coming forward accusing Majors of abuse. His attorney says Majors is innocent and has not abused anyone. Marvel and additional representatives for Majors were reached for comment. In March, Majors was accused of assaulting a woman who later recanted her story.
Here are the counties right now in the crossroads of severe thunderstorm watches: Calhoun, DeWitt, Goliad, Jackson, Lavaca, Victoria, and Wharton. Next question, I guess, Mac, with that is, how long could these watches last?
About 4 or 5 more hours. In fact, it's possible they could expand it. But the storms are moving toward the coast. Right now, the heaviest stuff is actually north of us. If you know where the I-10 corridor is, and everybody does, notice that the big storms are just getting into the Columbus area. They've had big hail in Giddings and LaGrange. So if you happen to be driving later tonight, just know you're going to be running into these big thunderstorms. Some of them are going to roll through the crossroads overnight and by tomorrow morning. And I think that by sunrise, most of this activity will be through. There's a little break that we get between Friday night or Friday afternoon and Saturday morning, which will be good. But then by Sunday, this whole thing just comes back again with more rain. So I got you 4 days of alert days, and I don't do that lightly. You know, this weather pattern is going to affect everybody one way or the other as we get to the weekend.
All right, Mac, thank you. Finally tonight, Brightline has officially unveiled its new station at Orlando International Airport. Bundles will be available for families of 4 that will cost less than $199 one way. Oh boy. Brightline has not announced exactly when services will start out of Orlando. They say the trains will be running by summer 2023. That's a couple months from now. There will be other train options out of Orlando that will stop in West Palm Beach, Boca Raton, and Fort Lauderdale. Possibly this is decent train weather we're going into, but as far as flying weather or driving weather, a bit iffy.
Train would be a great thing to do because, you know, the wheels stay on that thing. They don't hydroplane.
All right, well, hopefully we'll get out of this sooner rather than later.
Yeah, but watch out for the weekend, a little on the stormy side.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you so much for joining us for 25 News Now at 10. Remember, we're streaming 24/7 on Crossroads Today Plus.
Join Carolina Astorina, meteorologist Trey Mining for the latest weather updates and for all the news. 25 News Now, sunrise starting at 5 a.m. Good night, everybody.